Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel, and if you are brand new here, if this is your very first time, welcome. I'm Bonnie, Old Soul Mermaid, and this is my tarot channel where we do mostly unboxings, but sometimes we discuss some tarot topics as well. But today's video is an unboxing of the Painted Tarot by a UK based artist named Sophie McKay Knight. Now, I first became aware of this tarot deck by, I believe it was Tarot Map, her channel, Cassia at Tarot Map, and I fell in love with this deck. Right now I'm very much drawn into painterly kind of art type decks, collage decks, because I am starting my own little journey into experimentation into like mixed media. Excuse me, I can't draw worth a darn, so I find that mixed media is my jam and something I can do, you know, sort of. I'm not an expert. But anyway, the deck came with no plastic wrap on the deck, and there are some cards, some beautiful postcards that I got free, and it was so kind. And I assume this is artwork that's in the deck. These will be perfect to put in an art journal or to have as altar cards. Have to think about that because they are so beautiful and just the perfect size for an altar card, aren't they? Just gorgeous. Now, this being from the UK, the deck was not cheap, and then you add some shipping on top of that. But I think it's going to be well worth it. I saw the deck and fell in love. And to placate myself, I recently lost out on, excuse me, a chance to buy a Baba Studios out of print Bohemian Gothic 3rd edition. So I placated myself. I think that deck is now moving way beyond my price range, and I was very sad to see that because I want that deck. That's the #1 deck on my, my wish list, but now I fear it's out of hand. So I got this deck. Now, it does not come in a two-piece box. This is a tuck box, and this is $62 USD. I will leave a link of Sophie McKay Knight Etsy shop so you can check it out for yourself. Yeah, I think what's inside the box is going to be well worth it. Now it does come, there's no little white book. It does come with a little 6-page leaflet, which we will take a look at later. I believe the artist does have a background in tarot. And as we look at these beautiful backs, I think in the description on her Etsy shop, it said that this is a picture of the floor while she was working on this art. This is the drippings beneath her easel. Now, this tarot deck consists of existing artwork, full-scale artwork, and then she made it into a tarot deck. So I think that's very, very cool. That artist studio touch. Now, this is very thick cardstock. Described on her shop, it's 350 GSM Xanta cardboard, and it is very, very thick. And these are bigger than standard tarot size. I think definitely wider. I have small hands, so this will be a challenge, and I knew that. This will be a challenge to handle. As you can see, it is very, very thick. If you want to look at a standard US Games, this is my Morgan Greer. Let's do it this way, and you can see. Yeah, there's quite a difference. And as far as size, let's take a look. Yeah, it's almost oracle size for this tarot deck. The height is the same. It's maybe an eighth, no, yeah, just a smidgen taller, but it's quite a bit wider. So it's the width. So that's going to be, if you have small hands, take that into account. I know I will have a hard time shuffling this, but I'm going to flip it over and maybe you'll see why I had to get this deck. All right, so let's see if we can zoom in just a little bit closer. And we have our Fool. And I am drawn to these, to calming decks right now. I'm not really feeling called to anything so jarring. Now these softer decks that look softer can give you a very in-your-face reading, but I don't, at this point in time, I don't want that in my imagery. That's just where I am mentally right now. So you get the basic symbolism of the Fool. And this is the Magician. So in lieu of the Magician, we have the Alchemist with all her tools. We have the High Priestess. And you can tell already from this deck that this is going to be more of a, like, almost a portrait up close, where you get the faces, which it's another thing I like. You can see the two pillars here. Beautiful Empress. Just beautiful. I love her energy. The Emperor, and I just love the dripping paint. There looks like to be some mixed media here on his rod and his sphere. The Hierophant. See, these are the kind of Hierophants I like. There seems to be some stamping or stenciling done here. Look, she has one eye open, one eye closed. These colors are just divine. The Lovers. I like how their faces, you know, it could be a same-sex couple. It could be a hetero couple. Don't know. It could be whatever you want it to be, and I like that. The Chariot. I love the mystery. You definitely get energy, forward energy on this, but she's riding some creatures, but they are rather shadowy against the back moon. I think that's fantastic. Strength. I love that the lion is part of her pendant. And again, you can see this is up close and personal. The Hermit. Again, that same stamping going on up here. The Wheel of Fortune. Justice. I'm going to give you just enough time to absorb each card, because perhaps this is on some of your wish lists. The Hanged Man. Death. I do love this sort of veil that she's wearing. Her face is veiled. And that's usually, sometimes you can, but sometimes you can't see death or an end of something coming. It's rather shadowy, and sometimes it catches us by surprise. Beautiful Temperance. And while you're watching this walkthrough, please hit a like or subscribe, or both, if you are getting any value to looking at these cards, especially if I save you some money or if I turn you on to a fantastic deck. The Tower. Now this is done a little differently. This almost seems like swords here. But but at the same time, it does look like a sort of structure, and there's lightning here. But I like how it's half a structure maybe, and then a person. The Devil. He does look more like a human, you know, like the Pan God to me. He doesn't have any chain figures. These all seem to be fairly solo cards. The Star, beautiful star. These look to be also great meditation cards because look at that. Look at the imagery in here. You can just get lost in it. Look at this moon. Oh my gosh. Beautiful, beautiful. The Sun. No naked babies, right? This is beautiful. Judgment. And the World. I love her ballerina point there. Now we are in the Cups, Ace of Cups. Lovely blues. Two of Cups. Now this almost seems to be the same couple. Let's look. In the Lover's card. Don't they look the same? I think they are. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are they definitely the same? I think they are. And I think that's wonderful. So the Two of Cups. Oh, beautiful, beautiful Three of Cups. Beautiful, beautiful. The Four of Cups. She's looking straight at us, and I do like that energy. Again, looking at us kind of off to the side for the Five of Cups. The Six of Cups. Looks like maybe some nostalgia for a long-lost love or an old friendship. The Seven of Cups with lots of choices. Oh, I love this painterly effect. I'm just, and the bright pink in the background. I just love it. It almost has like a dopamine effect on the brain when I see this kind of art. The Eight of Cups. There's so much going on with the painting and collage. The Nine of Cups. She looks very satisfied. The Ten of Cups. The Knight of Cups. Looks like it's a female as the Knight. Oh, I got they're out of order. So here's the page. Should be page. Then the knight. And look at that beautiful queen. Something I did notice was the difference of the kings in this deck. Everything is so colorful, except when you get to the kings, it has a completely different energy with the black and white. Ace of Wands. So there are people depicted in the aces. I know some people don't like that, but you know, I'm good with it either way. The Two of Wands. You still get kind of, you know, the traditional imagery, symbology in here as well in the Three of Wands. Though it's less clear cut, that's why I think your intuition can just go haywire and just have the freedom to roam in a deck like this. The Four of Wands. I don't know if you can pick this up, but just the way that they're looking at each other. Oh, give you all the feels. The Five of Wands. Now, you don't see a physical fighting or competition, which is, you know, kind of a good thing because there's all types of competition and there could be backstabbing. Like these could be colleagues and they can start working together, but then they've got their own agendas. And it turns out to be looking out for number one. It's easy how things like that can turn. A group effort, and then it goes into everybody's solo effort. So Six of Wands. She does have a little satisfied, triumphant expression to her. The Seven of Wands. I like this. I would say this is, it seems to be largely female energy in here. So far from what I've seen. The Eight of Wands. The Nine of Wands. So yes, very female-oriented deck. I just love the strips here of how this collage work was done for the wands. Simply gorgeous. The Ten of Wands. The Page of Wands. Just see the extra detail, texture in her clothing. The Knight of Wands. Looks more like a horse-like figure. That is a striking Queen of Wands. Fantastic. And again, you see the stark contrast of the King of Wands. Just a completely different energy here. Ace of Swords. That might bother some people because it's, you know, the rest of the deck is very colorful, but I think I could work with that. Ace of Swords. I kind of like the iciness of the top of her head. The Two of Swords, and I don't know if you can pick this up, but in her little bun, you have the symbology of the two crossed swords. Three of Swords. Traditional in the piercing of the heart, but you've got the figure there. And the figure doesn't appear to be heartbroken, just kind of surrendering to it. The Four of Swords. The Five of Swords. This has a little bit, the palette is more similar to the King's here. And then we go back to color with the Six of Swords. You do get the kind of energy of being ferried away, of going someplace else with the birds in flight here. They're all looking towards the same direction. The Seven of Swords. Again, you get the traditional meaning from this card. Or RWS meaning, I should say. The Eight. The Eight of Swords. Her eyes are closed instead of her being blindfolded. Nine of Swords. Again, you get the lovely birds here. And they themselves are creating their own energy. You have the starkness of the blades. You know what's going on in her mind, but you know, it could be, she has a way out of it. If she'll seize that energy, the Ten of Swords. I like that. The Page of Swords. The Knight of Swords. Love this Queen of Swords. She looks so badass. Ah, the texture, you guys, the texture. It's jumping out of the card. I hope you can see it on my phone, but it is jumping out of the card. And again, we have the King of Swords in the stark, you know, kind of charcoaly black and white. Look at the crow on top of his head. The Ace of Coins. The Two of Coins. Three of Coins. The Four of Coins. Or Pentacles. I actually don't know what she's calling them here. Coins. Look, maybe Pentacles. I'll have to go back to the Aces. I think she's calling them coins. Yes, coins. Never mind. Don't mind me. The Five of Coins. Now you do get weather kind of depicted. She has a somber look on her face. There's a lot going on here, so a lot raining down on her. The Six of Coins. The Seven of Coins. Waiting to reap what you've sown. Playing that waiting game. And I like the expression on the face. I'll say again, I like the up close and personal. The Eight of Coins. Don't really get that energy of working, perfecting your craft from this card. I can learn to work with it. The Nine of Coins. Not a traditional garden, but you get that bright outlook that she's in her element. She's where she wants to be. She's where she has worked for. You've got the birds. So she's obviously outside. You've got a traditional 10 of coins depiction here. The page of coins. And the Knight of Coins. Look at this beautiful queen. Oh, look at the expression on her face. Look at the eyes. You just have to see these eyes. Isn't she beautiful? But much different energy with the King of Coins. I'll have to do some research, see if I can find anything. I don't remember hearing anything or reading anything on her website about the king. Maybe I'll shoot her a little message and ask her. It'll be really interesting. So we are going to zoom out and just take a cursory look at the pamphlet. Painting the tarot has been the proverbial fool's journey for me. I lived each card as I created it. And so this deck is infused with my own experiences, influences, memories, highs and lows. I painted each card as a large original piece over a period of 2 years. And the images of these paintings now create the deck you see before you. Some of the cards feature versions of people I know and other projects I was working on during the creation phase, where I also incorporated, particularly my own, with scientists and with professional dancers. Interesting. Oh, that's why the world, I loved her point. I started painting the tarot at the time when I wanted to break free from certain conventions and constraints. I was keen to explore where the process would take me. The main structural influence for this deck has been the Rider-Waite-Smith, which is the deck I have always used for readings and the ones I feel most connected to. So she describes the major arcana, the minor arcana. Oh, she does show her photography with dancers right here, if you can see where my finger is. And, oh, she has a quote by Yeats. The world is full of magic things, patiently waiting for our senses to grow sharper. And there's her information. But I will leave her Etsy shop also in the description box below. So she calls it a journey through 78 images, and I would have to agree. Now that I'm up, let's see how my small hands can deal with this. It's very, it's got a little bit of a gloss to the cards, but mostly I would say it's matte. Or a satin, maybe you'd call it. Maybe I need to come out a little bit. All right, wish me luck. I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna be able to do this. Nope. Well, nope. There. Forget about bridging this deck if you're a riffle shuffler. Let's see if I could do my little side shuffle. That I can do a little bit easier. So I can definitely do that. These are very sturdy cards. Should last you for a long time. But I knew that when I bought it. But I just love the backs. I love the images. These, to me, this is a totally... I'm going to move that aside. We'll just lay out a few cards to see how they look. Look at how beautiful. I'm very, very pleased. Like I said, also these would make fantastic just meditation cards. I am very, very excited to read with this deck. It's, I can see and I can feel in this deck, even though most of the images, the palette is soft, it's not going to be, you know, a lightweight reading. It won't just give lightweight readings. The images are, for the most part, calming to me. I love that they are, you know, close up of the face, because again, something, it has a similar image or energy in that way to like the Touchstone Tarot. Or I will say, and since I have it out here, my Morgan Greer, you know, where you see, and I love the Morgan Greer. It's one of my favorite older decks. I love it more than the traditional RWS. Do you see? I love the close-ups. The close-ups of the face. Because it feels, you know, like you're up close and personal. And I do really, sorry I keep bumping my stand. I do really like that in a deck. So let me know what you think of the Painted Tarot by Sophie McKay Knight. Was this on your wish list? Is it something you were thinking about and maybe you're looking at this unboxing and saying, nah, not for me. Maybe I'll pass on it. Maybe the cardstock is a deal breaker for you. Let me know in the comments. I would really like to know. And again, if you got any value at all to this unboxing, I'm a small channel and would really appreciate a like, a subscribe, hit the notification bell. I come back often with videos if you will look on my channel, and I will try to help you make your best buying decisions just by showing you the cards as they are. All right, so until my next unboxing, I will bid you adieu and goodbye, and I hope you have the most perfect and loveliest of days. Bye for now.